Hello and welcome to video 2 in our series on data management in Excel. This is Taylor Spoon, and in this video I'm going to guide you through freezing variable panes, isolating your data using filters, and creating a copy of your isolated data. This video is produced as part of the ValFest project with funding from the National Science Foundation's AZEL program. A quick note before we start, I am working in a Mac version of Excel and it may look slightly different for PC users. I will note differences between the look and the function of the two versions throughout the video as they appear. So let's get started. So now that we have a clean copy of your data to work with, I will show you how to isolate data using filters and freezing your variable names so you can easily work within a subset of your larger database. So we're going to start by freezing your variable names so they will remain visible no matter where you are in the database. This is extremely helpful when you are working in large data sets. As soon as you scroll down, you'll see you lose your variable names at the top and it becomes very hard to keep up with. So you want to select the View tab, and on the View tab there's going to be a couple of options. Now this is where it gets different for PC users versus Mac. You will still select the View tab if you're on a PC, but instead of having the options laid out here, you will have to select on a panes window and an option menu will appear. It will still be the same option that you select, but it will appear in a different way. So you want to select Freeze Top Row, and that's the row that your variables are in. So when you select that, you can scroll down and see that all of your variables will now stay at the top no matter where you are in your database. So now we're going to add filters to isolate your data. So to do this, we will first need to add filters to your variables. So we're going to highlight the row 1 by selecting the 1, and it should highlight the entire thing for you. And now we're going to go back to the Home tab, and on the far right hand side there's going to be an option that says Sort and Filter. You're going to select that, and from that menu you're just going to press Filter. And those will automatically add filters to each of your variables. Now this is another place where it might look a little different for PC users. You can see on my Mac that I have little triangles that appear. And PC you will see a little sieve symbol as a marker for your filters. So now you're going to want to isolate a specific festival's data, and right now we're looking at an entire database that includes 24 festivals. So to do this, we're going to use column F. That variable is festival name. And you want to click on the indicator, either the triangle or the sieve, and an option window will appear. So you can see that all of the festivals are selected right now. So you want to go up to the Select All, and you want to deselect it. Now I'm with North Carolina, so I will just scroll down and select North Carolina, and then you can just exit out of this option window and you will see that the only data points left in this database now have come from North Carolina. So now that we've isolated this data, we're going to want to make 2 copies of it so we can have a raw version and a clean version of your isolated data. So now that you have the data points isolated for your specific festival, you'll do the same thing as we did earlier with making the copies. You'll go up to the triangle in between row 1 and column A and select it. You can Control C, you can right click, copy, and you want to go down and press the plus symbol. And I'm going to insert 2 sheets since we'll want one password protected. Paste it back in and you'll see that North Carolina will be the only data points that appear in your new data set. I'm going to go to the second new sheet that you just created. You want to paste again. So now we have 2 copies of your isolated data. So before we rename and password protect these, I'll go back to my Clean All sheet. And you want to click back on the F column, and you'll want to select all again so you can have all of the survey responses back into the database. Now we'll go to the new sheet and we will rename. So you want to right click on the sheet name. I'm going to name this Raw Isolated. And the second new sheet we just created, I will rename Clean Isolated. And just like before, we're going to want to password protect your raw isolated sheet by right-clicking, protect sheet. And I'm going to enter my first name just like I did the first time. And now we have 4 copies. We have a raw all copy, we have a clean all copy, we have a raw isolated copy, and a clean isolated copy. So now you have 4 versions of your database, 2 that are password protected, and 1 that is all of the festivals if you want to do comparison data, or you can work in your isolated data set and just work with your own festivals data. So that'll do it for video 2 in our Excel trainings. Thanks and good luck.